Okay, so now we will begin today's satsang. And as I have told you, that I am always there with you as the presence. Whether my physical being is there or not, my presence is always with you. And it depends upon you how much you should avail of my presence. That will depend upon your receptivity, your sincerity of practice. And now we have come again to rejuvenate this practice and to give you a boost of evolution, to give you an alchemy of total transformation. So the technique is the least of it. The technique is just like a revision, but the actual transformation takes place by your mind coming in contact with my consciousness. So when the consciousness of the Sadguru touches the mind of the disciple, like I always tell you, if any mind, when I say mind, it's you. When I say consciousness, it's me. Can you all hear me at the back? If any mind, disciple, is attuned to an undifferentiated consciousness of the Sadguru, that mind, disciple, becomes the Sadguru to the extent of its attunement with the presence, with the undifferentiated consciousness of the Sadguru. If any mind is attuned to an undifferentiated consciousness, then that mind becomes that consciousness to the degree of its attunement with that consciousness. Do you understand it? You do understand it? Would you like to repeat it? Would Lord or Yogiraj like to repeat it? If you don't, say no. It's a sacred thing, you don't have to repeat it. I know that you know it. I know that you know it in sum and substance, but you don't know the sequence, but you know the set. You know the spirit of what I said, right? But you don't know the sequence. So be rest assured that you are constantly progressing. All of you, my disciples, are a gift of God for me. You are a gift of God for me, but with many wrappings and trappings, which I have to unwrap. Okay? Sometimes I have to tear the wrappings apart, sometimes I have to unwrap the wrappings. But as I unwrap and peel the wrappings layer after layer, you realize yourself to be more and more divine. This is what the whole game is about. Playing the game sublime in a material world. You are walking, talking, living gods, covered by all the human weaknesses that there can be. I'm giving you, why I'm talking to you like this, I'm giving you a different view of yourself so that you can be encouraged that you are the living God, but you are covered with the coat of the eye. First you are covered with the coat of fear, the fear of death. This is the first coat that you are covered with. And why do you want to live? Why do we do detoxing? Why do we do herbal medicines? Why do we do healthy exercises and the rejuvenate detox techniques. We have all these things. Because of the fear of death, we cling to life. So it's a corollary, it's connected with one with the other. But yoga is here to take away that fear of death, because you are attached to your body. Yoga tells you that I am not this house of flesh and bone, which sleeps, decays and dies. I am immortal consciousness, Lord of the earth and the skies. This is what yoga tells you, right? I am spirit, I am truth, I am love divine. I am spirit, I am truth, I am love divine. This body, mind, a dream of mine. How many people say this occasionally while sleeping or during the day? Raise your hands. They're all good disciples. Now you forgot, don't forget now. Say it, it will remind you of your true self and make you overcome the fear of death. You feel that when my body dies, what will be? I'll be lost. But yoga and kriya yoga makes you realize that you're something more than your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body. You are the divinity within these human trappings. These are human trappings. And as you refine yourself, you learn to separate yourself from your physical, emotional and mental bodies. And when you realize yourself to be the spirit of your soul, you are enlightened. This is the first barrier which you must overcome, the fear of death. I will tell you how to overcome the fear of death. Besides the practice of Kriya Yoga, do try to understand that the fear of death involves the fear of the unknown. After I die, I do not know what is going to happen. Then it involves an identity crisis, that I will lose my identity. My sister, my brother, my father, my mother, my children, all these beautiful friends I have, the beautiful life I'm living, all my work which I do. I'm such a great social worker. I work for them. I give them medicines. I give them love. I give them flowers. All my identity and link with my friends will be gone. So if I lose my identity, I lose my friends, my father, my sister and all my relatives. Right? That is the second fear. Now I'm telling you these things which will give you great solace. I'm not here to teach you yoga classes or techniques and all. I'm here to do the actual thing. I'm here to transform you, not to teach you. Have you understood? Now how many of you here thought I have come to teach you? Raise your hands. Okay, you know. How many of you here feel that I have come to transform you and evolve you? Raise your hands. Everybody, right? You are also wrong. How many of you thought you'd trick me? How many of you here feel that I have come to teach you and transform you? Raise your hands. No, you cannot raise your hands. Once you raise your hand, you cannot raise your hand. So now who didn't raise their hand? So you see, teaching is compulsory for me because your mind is in a habit of teaching and being taught. It's the habit of mind. If I don't say anything, I'll be doing just as much, but you won't be satisfied because you're used to words. I do this. Okay. Teaching is just the pointer to the transformation. Now let me give you some comfort. Do not be afraid of death. The first thing is, every night when you go to a dreamless sleep, you lose your identity. You do not know whether you are a man or a woman in dreamless sleep. Okay. So and when you sleep, there is no fear of the unknown, because you are in the unknown. You have no identity and you are in an unknown state. That is death. Does that give you solace? Every night you die. I die daily. When you sleep, and sleepless sleep. Suppose you have a dream in your sleep. In the dream, you at least know that I am not the physical body, I am a dream body, an astral body. That also gives you the information that you are something more than your physical body to which you people are attaching yourself. I want your feedback on this. Have you got some relief? Have you got a clearer understanding not to fear death? Can somebody give me, speak like a child. This is your family at home. Say what you felt after I told you. Did you feel relieved, or did you feel that yes, there is a solution, I'm practicing death every day, death is not as bad as it is? What do you feel? Give me a feedback. Whatever little feedback, yes.
I feel like I don't need to have any fear. There's nothing to be fearful of.
You feel this after I told you this?
Especially after you told us this,
yes. Yes. Yes.
I feel like my mind agrees with you, and my mind says, yes, this all makes sense, but I was failing to shift my identity to the soul for that experience, because intellectually, it's sound, you can't argue. We've all experienced sleep, we've all experienced dreams.
I don't get what you're trying to say. What did you feel? Did you feel good, or did you feel argumentative, or did you want to put your logic against my logic, my experience? What did you feel? You want to put your theoretical argument against a man who is experienced, right? Death.
I did it, but yeah, the ego did, I suppose, the mind.
I like this. So for many years, this sort of mind has been transformed very little. Because even 5 years ago, you had a good sound argument. I like this. So what are you trying to say? Tell me in simple language. What did you feel after I explained this? Did you feel that some explanation had been given to you?
I feel like it even shows that even the mind can be defeated with the mind.
The mind is defeated, excuse me, speak softly. You feel that mind is defeated by the mind?
Yes.
What do you mean mind is defeated by the mind?
I mean, because there's no other place to go with it.
My mind defeated your mind by giving you the answers to the questions you didn't know. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
So good. So every night you are practicing death, so fear not. Let it come. The third fear, I'll take your question, is some people die of cancer, some people die suffering, some people die of an accident. This is the fear. This is the third fear. For this fear, the remedy is practice Kriya Yoga. And if you won't break a leg before you die, you may just sprain it. You will lessen the impact of your bad karma if at all it is to come. That is the answer. Have you understood? So practice Kriya Yoga sincerely. The gentle abrasion of the Kriya breath mitigates the suffering of your past in this life. The breath acts upon, it fades the effect of your bad karma. Like if you have a stamp and a stamp ink, you put the stamp on the ink and you stamp it. In the first Kriya practice, you stamp it. The ink is clear. Second, you stamp it. It's more faded in your mind. Third time you practice Kriya, stamp it. It's even more faded. Fourth time you stamp it, it practically disappears. Right, Michelle?
Hi, yes.
So do you like this answer? Does this answer satisfy you? What Kriya Yoga does? Gentlemen at the back, Uga, how do you feel about this answer? The repetitive practice, it fades away the negative effect of Kriya Yoga. The gentle abrasion of the breath wipes away the evil samskars of the past. Now, I'll take your feedback. I've given you answers to this. We have answered the fear of death. And I've given you the answers to this. But remember one thing. How many people were aware? I know you like the answer. Some of you were aware and could feel it, some of you were aware and could feel it, some of you were not aware and still could feel the transformation. When I'm speaking to you, I'm not only talking to you, as I said, I'm also transforming you while I talk. How many felt that I'm transforming you while I talk? Raise your hands. Good. Yes. Yes, tell me. What is your name?
Kriya.
Reena, you've been here for many, many years, you're coming. You're progressing well. Yes.
So good enough. For me, at night when I sleep, I go away, but I don't know, I don't see myself as a soul. I don't experience anything. It's just nothing.
That is good. Because your soul is also a very thin film of light, which is known as the Divya Prakriti, the divine mind. That means you transcend the divine mind also. In your deep sleep where you don't feel your soul, you touch pure consciousness, that is the divine consciousness. And since you are too small, you cannot comprehend that consciousness. I also, as a little child, when I went to that state, I could not feel my soul because it had expanded into something so vast that I was just nothing. Right? We feel we are nothing. That's how we used to feel. That's how you should feel. That's good. Everybody feels that in a dreamless sleep. It is called sushupti. But in swapna, which is a dreamful sleep, you will feel yourself. You may even then you can have your form, your woman form, and you're talking to your friends, or you're eating nice Alfonso mangoes, or suddenly you start flying. That is all in the dream state. So that's very good. When you go in a dreamless sleep, you are not supposed to feel anything, just stillness. But you feel no fear also.
But that's the part good enough. When I become aware, my body has fear.
You are not aware because your mind is not ready to receive the consciousness. It is sleep which is trying to evolve you. The moment your mind is ready, it will be transformed to your consciousness to the degree of its attunement with that consciousness. What I said, the consciousness, the thing which you don't feel, the nothing is the SatGuru. And you are the disciple, but since a small speck has been thrown in the ocean, it won't know, it gets lost, right? You understand? So you will feel the awareness. Keep practicing kriyayoga. Next question. Next person, feedback.
When I dream, or even when I meditate, I feel like I'm no longer on stage. I just am observing.
So that's very good. And what do you feel in sleep?
Same. I'm just watching. I'm just here.
So you feel you're the watcher in your sleep. And what do you feel now? You feel you're standing in front of your Sadguru and talking to him, right?
Right.
Okay, so but when you meditate, you feel the master awareness.
I feel you all the time.
You feel me all the time.
Yeah.
So I am you at that level, I am you. Where there is no thought, there must be no thought. If there is thought, then it's not me, it's not the presence. Then your mind is interfering in the presence. The divine mind interferes in the divine consciousness. You understand? So that's very good. Okay, now I come to the next. The next is how to get rid by your practice of the second difficulty which besets us. The second coat, the layer of the gift of God. My disciples are the gift of God. Now I'm peeling off the second layer. In the second layer, I've said in my poem somewhere, it is the pair of opposites, joy and sorrow. We are always on the emotional pendulum of love and hate, joy and sorrow, depression and happiness. This is how the emotional pendulum of the human mind works. This is a great turbulence in the way of a steady mind. It distracts you. Concentration is distracted. Because one moment we are happy with happy things, then after some time something sad happens, we get sad. We must try to have equanimity. We must try to have equality in our emotions. This duality of opposites, the emotional pendulum, Gurunath says in one of his poems, this duality of opposites, teach me to override. Take me with thee, O spirit free, onto the other side. Onto the other side, they say in America that after your body dies, you go on to the spirit realm. But here I say in Samadhi, you go to the other side, where there is no joy and sorrow. I am ever in bliss, unmoved. Unmoved. So what is the state of a yogi? What will be your state when you overcome the second wrapping? You know, you're affected by any happy thing, you dance with joy. If anything sorrow happens, you start crying. Neither be affected by joy nor by sorrow. I think, now tell me which poem this is from, but I had a poem for you all in any case. The second wrapping which the yogi must endeavor to be is this. This is what you will be when you become that state. This is what you are as you approach closer to God. In joy and sorrow, in joy and sorrow, light and dark, you ever that eternal spark. In honor and dishonor too, the constant yogi ever be. In joy and sorrow, light and dark, he ever that eternal spark. In honor and dishonor too, the constant yogi ever be. Take me with thee, O spirit free, onto the other side. So that is, it's all about that. This duality of opposites, teach me to override. Take me with thee, O spirit free, onto the other side. Now you know what it means. That is, attraction and rag and dvesh. That has to be overcome. That is the second wrapping which the Guru helps you to unwrap. This is a layering of coats which you have. The grossest layer is the fear of death. That is intense ego, the fear of death, therefore clinging to life. That itself is a duality of opposites. So, how do we override it? By the equal breath of kriyayoga, by mahamudra, by the Nabi Kriya, Hridaya Kamal Dal Vedan, Shivanetra Dara. These are the things which remove the duality of opposites. Steady mind. So that's very important. So do the Kriya, do the Namo Kriya, you'll get a steady mind. Yes, in that I have given this very clearly that you must get off the emotional pendulum high, but still it's difficult, right? Because when life's difficulties hit you, then you know it's not so, it's easier said than done, right? So that is the second thing. And as you keep practicing, these wrappings are taken off by your master, by his mere presence. His mere presence. I'll tell you the magic of mere presence. Because everybody cannot be mere presence. They are always thinking. Mere presence neutralizes your negative karma. I can't hurry with you because this is a language which is never spoken. And I'm translating it into human words. The not doing anything of the brain cells neutralizes your karma. The molecular motion, to and fro motion of the brain cells neutralizes your karma. That's why Gurunath takes you in paramastha and no mind all the time. And sometimes on your own you are able to do it when you contact the presence. The presence is the presence. Anyone who gets to that state is in the presence. Everything is evolving here. So when the Sadguru is before you, he is your meditation. He is your open eye meditation. Because it helps me to make you pay more attention, to transform you quicker. So then the third one is a very tricky thing. It is called the ego. I amness. The ego is the arrogating principle in the human body. And if you don't have an ego, you can't live your day-to-day life normally. Going to office, contacting people, going to society, going to Sunday evening mass, Sunday evening church, wearing your best dress and your beautiful hats. They still wear hats and dresses all over the place. And then there arises a competition that is her hat better than mine or my hat's better. The next time, for next Sunday, you go and buy the better hat. Not only women do it, men do it also. They try to upstage one another. This is a natural human thing. But it comes in the way of your spiritual progress. The ego is the I, the feeling of I amness. I am superior to this person. I am better than this person. I am the first amongst equals. Then the dangerous ego, I am humble. I am humbler than all the rest. Look at them, they're sitting in the chair, I'm sitting on the floor. Let me focus on humble. My Guru told me to be humble. So your humility becomes so prominent that it sticks out like a sore thumb. So you think you're being humble. On the contrary, you are giving a great leeway to your ego. Your humility becomes your ego. So watch for that. Or this ego has to disappear. I have made 2 poems on the ego. One is for the individual ego and one is for the cosmic ego. The individual ego, what is the individual ego? Let us find out first. The individual ego is me and mine, about my personal affairs and my personal things. And the cosmic ego is about the cosmos, the welfare of others, the welfare of humanity. Whether you fake it or it's real, the welfare of the whole world climate, the welfare of other planets. The individual ego, the more myself, the more my I doth disappear. The more my I doth disappear, the more the I doth disappear, the more myself as God appears. The more myself, the ego in me, the more the I doth disappear. I didn't say my I said the more the I doth disappear, the more myself as God appears. So it's between my true self and my apparent self. What is my apparent self? The more the I doth disappear, that's my apparent self. My body, my mind, my clothes, my society status, my, subtle nuances, my going into society. It's very subtle, the ego is very, very sophisticated. They're going into a society of ladies, Sunday evening churches, playing queen, princess, princess, queen, sister, princess, elder sister, younger sister, but still princess. So these are ego games, and it's good fun. It's damn good fun. But someday we have to get over these. When I was a child, I played with childish toys. When I grew up, I gave away these childish things and became more mature. Even men play these ego games. If somebody calls, don't take a phone call or somebody else. Another calls, you take a phone call. You buy 2 presents, you give one extra large good present to one and you give the lesser present to the other. So this ego is very subtle, you have to be very careful. This is the individual ego. I distinguish it by the individual ego is called egotistic attitude. In America they have another word for individual ego, it's called attitude. Is that right? You have attitude. It's ego. So you get rid of that with the constant practice of kriyayoga. And then comfort yourself with the same. Two days in annihilation's waste. 2 days, the well of life to taste. The stars are setting and the caravan starts for the dawn of nothing. Oh, make haste. Throw that ego away. Forgive and forget. Time is too short. Time is too little. This, I think, was a poem. If I'm not, I say I don't know. I would say Kaya, Omar Kaya, Sumar Kaya. It's so beautiful. See, we live. Why do you want to? That Gurunath is made of a similar point. Today we live throbbing with life. Tomorrow we are gone. We are shadows in a waking dream. We leave this world for long. So I can no longer fight with my sister or my brother or where's my sister, where's my brother? What is the fight for? Instead of wasting time fighting with my sister or brother, I may as well fight with God. Why don't you come to me? Come to me now. Give me a darshan. Give me a vision, O Lord. Give me a darshan. Give me a vision, O Lord. Because time is too little. Somebody sent me a post on this thing other day. He said time is too short. And he gave an example, one example. He said one man was sitting in a tram on a truck. One lady came into the truck, she rushed in and she hit him on the face with her many bags. They carried many, must have been shopping or something. Hit him on the face, this thing. And man didn't say anything. So she said, I hit you with this many bags. Why didn't you say anything? I hit you on the face. Listen, what is the point getting into an argument? You are not in a mood to listen. Time is too short. I'm getting off at the next stop. I don't want to waste my time fighting with you. This is what life is all about. If somebody says something to you, forgive and forget. He will be caught with both his stuff. All his BS in both hands, friends sling mud at you. But if you say, oh, you are right, I am wrong. He said, what should I do with this which I am prepared to attack you? So you can keep it to yourself. So time is too short. We cannot fight with our friends and relatives. We fight with our own brothers and sisters, friends. Time is too short. I'm not preaching, I'm telling you a fact. Forget it, focus on the main thing which matters. Merging your Shiva into Shiva. So what does the individual ego say? The more the I doth disappear, the more myself as God appears. So it's myself, it's still got the larger ego, because the creation will disappear. Then the other word for the cosmic ego is this. The more and more I disappear, the more the self as God appears. Not myself or thyself. That is the cosmic ego. So the individual ego is the arrogating principle, the I. Something hurts you, something makes you happy. But your Atma is never hurt or happy. So that which is happy or which is sad, it's your ego. The soul has an ego too, but the spirit has none. But when you go to the cosmic ego, the more and more I disappear. That means the more and more I disappear, the big I, that is the Prakriti Laya, the cosmic being, the more and more it disappears. This happens in Dharma Ek Samadhi. where you feel that I am the stars, the skies, the ocean, the cosmic breeze, all is with me. You realize that, but that realization is a thin film of I. So that I is not an I am or an egotistic. It's not tinctured with I and vanity. It is just a feeling that I am the divinity. So how can we describe the cosmic I? I have described the individual I. I have not described the cosmic I. It has no boundaries. The individual I has a boundary, a limitation of the mind. Electrons, protons and neutrons. This is no limitation. So the cosmic I is just the essence of the feeling that you are. There's an essence of the feeling that you are. But if this essence is flipped over, it is the essence of the feeling that there is God alone and I am not, the cosmos. And if you flip it back again, there's the essence of the feeling that I am the cosmos. Because it is your true feeling, united to the divine mind and nature. But when you flip it across, it is again a master feeling of your merging into the divine consciousness, not the divine I or the divine, not the cosmic I, but the cosmic nothingness, the cosmic awareness. So there's a cosmic I and the cosmic awareness. And that the cosmic I, which is the essence of this feeling of I, not I am, which is individual, but I am the universe, which is cosmic, is the cosmic I. When you feel it is individual, it is the individual I. Right? When you feel it, you are expanded into the cosmos and everything in creation is you, cosmic I. But when you rip that last veil, and you add that awareness, which is the cosmic I, when light merges into consciousness, the lightless light merges into consciousness, then you are totally enlightened. That is the cosmic light. The more and more I disappear, the more myself as God appears. The individual I, egotistic, it's between electron, proton and neutron. The more and more I disappear, the more the self as God appears. That's the cosmic I. Have you seen the difference? The more myself, the more the I, the more my I will disappear, the more myself, the more the I will disappear, the more myself as God appears. Individual ego, cosmic ego, the more the I will disappear, the more myself as God appears. So these are the I's. We must get rid of it by a constant practice of Kriya Yoga and do something which you would be embarrassed to do. Like when I go often, I used to practice it, so I practice it to teach others. All of you have noticed, it's outside a big hall, of course. Today I came by this side. Because that side, they're all in my way. You see, when you all are great people, you come from great families, and your papa and mamas have spoiled you as little girls and boys. So you fling your shoes to the side, and then you come in. I often used to say, leave your mind with your shoes, and come in with consciousness. So when I go, even with my foot, I don't want to make it too high. Put your shoes in place and hang them out if it's necessary. I bring them in place. That's an excellent way to humble your ego. To show that, yes, I am the shoe wearer, I am the shoe keeper. But some of you will find it very difficult to do it even now. The other thing is, when they come to my ashram for the retreat, if the worker doesn't come, the day he doesn't come, I clean the toilets. It's not a big deal. You're just cleaning the food management of others. It's just food management. You eat from this side, you take it from that side. You eat all rose petals, you'll be all rose petals coming from the other side. Do it for 6 months and see. I did it to the goat for 21 days. I gave them rose petals. The goat, when I milked the goat, I had rose milkshake. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. Because the goats, for a cow, it's a thicker fiber. But the goat is very little and sensitive. So if you give, here they are very high on feta cheese and goat's cheese, right? Because they know what is there. I'm telling you because it's so good that the herbs it eats is easily translated into milk. So the herbs that the goat eats, it comes out as milk. And you can smell the rose in the milk. So how you food manage, that's why food and salads and all, they take this in order to get the correct nourishment. So anyway, having finished with the techniques of dissolving the ego, be humble, do humble jobs, picking up the leaves. In the ashram you get a lot of time. You understand? So that is the second thing, that you be humble. Do the humble jobs. Help another blind person across the road. There are many things to do. You don't have to be the only one who always polishes the shivling or takes the brasso and polishes the cross in the church. You can sweep the church also sometimes. They don't have a sweep, they sweep that. It's called, you can hoover the church. Right? It's a hoovering. So everybody hoovers. That's a good thing. So you have to lessen this ego, because unless you cannot dissolve the ego, you cannot progress. You have to progress forward. Third is, do not try to upstage your guru in fashion and style. You see, he's not concerned with that. But you should not, with the intention, try to upstage a person. Of course, in your day-to-day life, I'm not saying that one person should buy a better dress or better, but not with the intent of upstaging others, with the intent because you like it, you buy. So this has to be tackled, and the ego is the toughest thing to get over. Very difficult. And here I help you in the alchemy of the yes.
So, when the cosmic ego appears, is that the Savikalpa Samadhi? And when the cosmic ego dissolves?
Yes, that is one of the final stages of Savikalpa Samadhi. And then you are called the great Vibhuti. Wherever you walk, there will be flowers. Whatever you say will come to pass. You see, those are called Prakriti Laya Purush. They are very high stage. And one of these great Siddhas was a person who walked the streets of Banaras. His name was Trailinga Swami. There was Trailinga Swami. There was another person. There were other people also. Raja Sundarnath had passed through the stage of Nath Yogi, but he transcended that stage into absolute beyond. The Prakriti Laya Purush. That means he is absorbed in the whole of creation, and anything that happens in creation registers in his cosmic mind, in his divine mind. And ultimately he has to give up that. He is called the Prakriti Laya Purush, which is the last and seventh stage, going to the last stages of Asmit Samadhi or Savikalpa Samadhi. There are 7 stages in Savikalpa Samadhi, which are Sat level, Sat level, Sat level, Sat.
And is that the last, so once you dissolve the cosmic ego and the cosmic awareness appears, is that the Nirvikam?
Once the cosmic ego appears, you will always be in Savikalpa Samadhi, but then as by the gentle liberation of kriyayoga, you are thinning the mind, or with the rolling pin of kriyayoga, you are thinning the pizza, the pita bread, to thinner and thinner. It becomes so thin that it appears holes. And then from Savikalpa Samadhi, you temporarily go into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, divine mind, and come back. You go into divine mind and come back. Because your mind is getting thinner and thinner. And then comes a stage where you're more into Nirvikalpa Samadhi and less in Savikalpa Samadhi. because you're transmitting. Every time you do that, your electron becomes light. The moment your electron becomes light, you go from Savikar to Nirvikar. Then light becomes the direct, you pass desire, the light becomes the electron again and you come into Savikar Sabhava. Have I been able to explain this in sort of quite a clear way? Your mind is the pita bread. You have to thin it with the rolling pin of constant Kriya practice. Right? And you have to, or another example is with the constant vibration of the breath, transform your mind from opaque to translucent to transparent to no mind. Do you understand? How many understood? Raise your hands. Okay, good. I'm not doubting your capacity to understand, but I want to convince myself that you have understood, that I have given it to you. Right?
I have another question.
Yes, ask me the good question. I'm going to start the questions.
So earlier you were mentioning that the fear of death, the fear of transition,
Yes.
it's like a rubber stamp, right? So you have ink and you stamp it 3-4 times, the ink disappears and dissolves.
No. The rubber stamp is an example of how that fear gets less and less,
Yes.
by practice.
Yeah.
But the actual fear is the identity crisis and fear of the unknown and the fear of suffering and death.
Yes.
These are three things
Yes.
which I answered.
Right. So the question is, how do I know how much ink my rubber stamp has got?
How much?
How much ink the stamp has got? Is it 4 stamps or 4 iterations be enough, or 20 iterations be enough, or 100 iterations be enough? How will I know that?
Yours is not to question why, but to do and love. That's an army saying. So why are you worried? The ink which is on you, you will know by the difficulties that you are facing in your life. I have had many cases with me of schizophrenia or troubled stomach or this thing. Some people have cured very fast. They had less ink on their stamp of mind. Some people took a medium time and some people didn't cure for a long time. And some people died. So that is the amount. That your individual present explains your individual past. To each one of you is allotted his exact and proper task.
And how do I know my kriyayoga is advanced enough to realize it soon enough in the same life versus multiple lives?
See, you will know that your kriyayoga is on the good path is because you have come in front of the presence, the SatGuru. That is the first benchmark that you have already passed. Now, pass with 33% plus or past come Lord with 88%. That is up to you to decide. The more you practice Kriya Yoga, the subtler will be your mind. Its refinement of the mind is evolution of consciousness. The thinner your mind gets, the more transparent your mind gets, the more divine consciousness takes over. So it's a play between mass and gravity, divine consciousness and divine mind. That is the whole game. You understand? So you will know.
Now I do.
You see, some people go, let's say for a visa. One person gets his visa in 3 days, the other one has to wait for 3 months. There's more ink on the stamp. There's more ink on the card next time. You have to wait more. Some people can easily earn money. Some people take a long time. Some people have, so there's no one to blame but yourself. The SatGuru, the presence is not obligated to you. He comes not because of the karmic pattern, he comes because of compassion. And since you people have got the SatGuru, you have got the right path, there is nothing to fear. Because I can see in each one of you have had deep experiences and you know that the path that you are treading is the right path. All glory be to you. Om Namah Shiva. What is your name?
Pramod,
Where do you come from?
Chicago, but I was born and brought up in Pune.
I'm sorry I can't see you because these people have blasted these lights in my eyes. And I cannot see what you are up to over there. Because we have kept your lights in the dark. You have kept yourselves in the dark. And put me in the light. I don't need the light. I am the purple star. You are my planet. You have to become a star. So this is Maya. The person who is self-luminescent, the star, you give him light. And the person who are planets who need the light, who are the moon, you give the sun the light. No need. You should give the moon the light, which you are not giving. Because the moonlights are looking like the moon itself. But those moonlights are shining in the borrowed light of the sun. But you should shine, you should take that shine and make it literal by practice. Practice can make it literal. Now we come, you are in a very high stage. When you go to that final stage of dissolving the individual I, then you go to the final stage of dissolving the cosmic I. What is the name, another name for the cosmic I? It is spread as a thin film of delusion all over creation, and it poses as God Himself. It is called Maya. Maya. How many of you have not heard of Maya? Raise your hands. Another name in yogic language for Maya is Avidya. That which appears to be what it is not. It will appear, there will come a stage where you will be so pure in mind and so happy. No sorrow, no joy, but eternal bliss. Everything is light. You will be all knowledgeable and you will be lost in stages of bliss for hundreds of thousands of years, drinking of the nectar of the gods. And you will feel that you are immortal. And you will be immortal. And then that is the stage where there is no aches or pains and you are immortal. And you will want for nothing more. Then you begin to think of yourself as God. Now that is the stage where you have to go to a very, very high stage of dharmanic samadhi, where this delusion of you feeling yourself as God, the prakriti laya purush, the Vitambara Pradnya, so divine a state, so divine a mind you are, that your glow overshadows or over brilliances the whole world. There are people and angels of high order who are in this state, and they are totally immortal, but they are not enlightened. Immortality is one stage below being enlightened. And that is the flip. They have to snap out of that in dharmanic samadhi and then go to the final kaivalya, the final liberation. And in this stage, you have to keep practicing, saying to yourself every night before going to sleep, and distinguishing between Maya and Purush and Prakriti, the consciousness and divine mind and divine consciousness. You say, I am spirit, I am truth, I am love divine. There's body, mind, and dream of mind. So divine mind is what? I am spirit, I am truth, I am love divine. And what is divine mind? This body mind, a dream of mind. But the body of creation is spread all over, 6 trillion miles across, one galaxy only. It's vast. So you have to practice and then be in the great still. The Paravastha, that is the way. Be in Paravastha and to constantly repeat, I am spirit, I am truth, I am one. And then the last wrapping, the Sadguru will help you to unwrap, and there, behold yourself as the divinity himself. Behold yourself as Jiva, as one with Shiva. So this is the journey of the soul through ever more refined and ever more expanded spheres of consciousness to get to the God essence which lies at the core of his own being, yet is spread beyond creation to creation.